The third commandment refers to okay, this is interesting. Thou shalt not use the Lord's name in vain. I was definitely raised. That means you shouldn't say things like Jesus Christ as a swear word. Oh, we were at Denny's the other week, a couple weeks ago, probably closer to a month ago now. And I'm assuming it was a family. It was what looked like a mom and a dad, a little bit younger. And then they had like a young teenage boy and then probably like a preteen girl. And the boy kept saying Jesus Christ for like everything. Like he would pour the syrup and like too much would come out. And he would say Jesus Christ and then like look at all the syrup. And he said it for everything. And it took everything within me. And some of you are probably going to be like, well, why didn't you? It took everything. I wanted so bad to walk up to this kid, walk up to the table and kind of kneel down and be like, hey, I keep hearing you, say Jesus Christ, like call for Jesus Christ. Hey, I work for him. Is there anything I can help you with? And I wanted to so bad. And I was watching the body language of the parents and I was like, I don't think this will go over very well. I don't think it's going to turn into, I was trying to gauge, like, is this going to be like an evangelistic open door or is this going to be a local pastor gets in fist fight as, father of son attacks him and he must defend himself. I was like, ooh, which way is this going to go? And the body language was leaning towards the cussing and maybe throwing of hands. So I ended up not. But I keep thinking about it. He kept just saying, Jesus Christ as a swear word over and over. And I was taught, well, that's what the commandment is. The third commandment is not to use the Lord's name in vain. We don't say things like, oh my God, I was not allowed to say that at all as a child. In fact, the young version of me would be like, uh-oh, the older version of me is going to hell. He just said, oh my God. And I wouldn't have even said it. I would have said, oh my gosh, but not, right? That's how I would refer to it. And so this idea, I still think that that's this part of it, like we shouldn't be going around and using God's name as a swear word. Jesse Duplantis is hilarious because I don't think he still does this, but he definitely went through a phase where he would say, oh my Buddha, and people would look at him and be like, did you just, that was loud. Did you just say, oh my Buddha? And he would be like, yeah. And they're like, well, why would you do that? And he was like, well, you guys use God's name in vain. I can use your name in vain. And so he would say other gods, right? But that was him. He was like that. I don't think that necessarily is set up for, it wasn't a very Todd White way of opening up a ministry opportunity. But something going on outside. So yeah, let me get back. Okay, the third commandment refers to ambassadorship, not vocabulary. So this idea of, well, okay, we just need to keep, how we, and I do think there is a part of that again, but it refers much more to ambassadorship, right? Of how you're not using his name in vain. I'm a Christian. How many times do you know people who go, no, I know Christians and they're hypocrites. They're just a bunch of hypocrites. I'm not going to go to church. Well, a lot of times, that would be a better definition of using the Lord's name in vain, is calling yourself a Christian. There's a DC Talk song, and I know it's not them originally, but it's a quote of something, and it's the greatest hindrance to the gospel is people who sit in church and call themselves a Christian and then walk out and act no different than the rest of the world. And so that's a much better example of using the Lord's name in vain. We joke about like the person who's driving and cutting people off and flipping people off and then has a Jesus loves you or a fish bumper sticker. Those are examples. You are saying, I'm a Christian. I am Christ-like. I represent Christ. And then you're not living according to how he lives. And so third commandment, refers to ambassadorship, not vocabulary.